Hola, mi nombre es Gabriela, estudiante en escuela. Estoy trabajante para una beca. Mira, mira. So yesterday for training, we just went over the Spanish canvas. Um, it's a little bit intimidating, and I wasn't in Spanish territory yesterday, but I did get to use a little bit that of that Spanish. I only met one person who didn't speak English, and so I showed them. I had two Spanish books, La Cocina and Paz, which is Peace Above the Storm. And then they weren't interested in either, so I just dropped down with Feliz para Siempre, and then they gave a donation for that. So yesterday was a bit more of a challenging day in the sense that people either half of the people weren't home, and then which is, for a Sunday, we'd expect more people to be home, so we don't do businesses on Sunday because they're mostly home. And then so I was knocking on doors yesterday, so my knuckles had kind of recovered from last week, but then I can feel the bruises coming back from knocking on doors. um, and then so I went door to door yesterday, and I got a lot of donations. But even I was like, oh, the your donation would actually cover the cost of the book. And then I showed them the health book, the devotionals, the other religious books, as well as the children's books. But they weren't interested in the books. They're like, let me just give a donation to help you out. So by the end of the night, um, given I had gotten $108 in donations, and I had only gotten two drop downs out and four books. So a drop down is we say whatever you feel like giving for that little book, and then so the drop down helps with stress, and it's pretty much thoughts from the Mount of Blessing. So like different sermons of Jesus. And then people give anywhere from, some people have gotten $100 for a drop down just because people want to donate. But at a minimum, we try to get $2 to cover the cost of the book. So because I got $108 out, that means, and I only got two drop downs out. So that means I could have gotten an additional two drop downs out and a cookbook and a combination of 8 DVDs and books for that money. But I only got four books out, and they were two habits, and one simply fresh, and one story time. So the three of the four were health books. One was a more neutral kids book. So even though it does talk about trust in God, it's not really a religious book. So it was challenging because I couldn't get any devotional sets out. And then it was like the donations cover them. Like, these books have changed lives. And people really just weren't interested in the books. And so, like, I would leave a glow track or so. I mean, the cool thing about literature evangelism is you never know where these books or these glow tracks are going, because for all I know, I left a glow track that if they read it could have changed someone's life. And so, you never actually know the end goal. And so I was just praying for a divine appointment all day. And then, like, the last 10 minutes, or even last 30 minutes, we have, like, at the end of the night, we have cleanups. So if you're done with, they leave us on the street, and then they say, okay, walk forward to your T, cross over, work back. So the T is pretty much, an intersection's four-way. A T is just a three-way road. And then so when they say walk forward to your T, you go to your T, cross over, and then work back. And so you're just doing that section of the road. And then so when you're done with your territory, and then there's just a few minutes left on the clock, they pick you up, bring you somewhere else to a friend's territory, and they say hopscotch. So if your friend is here, you go to the next house, they go to the next house, and so on, just to finish up that street. And so we were doing that, like the last 30 minutes or last 10-20 minutes of the night. And so I was just running from door to door, trying to get as many doors in before the night closed out. Just really praying for a divine appointment, but there wasn't really significant that stood out to me But like I said, with literature evangelism, you never know um, what these glow tracks or the little um, books can do for someone. Um, I did get to talk to someone in Japanese yesterday, which was a bit cool, but they weren't interested in the books either, so I didn't get a book out. As well as I was able to talk to this one. I had a lot more Asian families, and so when you're in Asian territory, you emphasize education a lot. And so I think that's also another reason why a lot of people were donating, was like they just weren't interested in the books, but let me support your education. Um, and then so I got to this one lady's house, and then she didn't have a religious background. She wasn't interested in the books. And then so before I was leaving, I said, hey, could I offer you prayer before I go? And she was like, oh, but I don't. She was like, sure, but I don't know how to pray. And so I explained a little bit about prayer, and then I was able to pray with her. So that's a bit cool, just being able to share with someone what we believe, even something as simple as prayer. And so, yeah, that's it for week 3, day 1. It is currently 6 a.m., so I'm gonna try to get some studying in as well as my devotions before everyone wakes up. Okay, bye.